I'd like to introduce our special guest. Her name is Kym Ali, and she's the CEO of Kym Ali Consulting, which is an SBA certified service disabled veteran owned small business that specializes in organizational development, employee wellness, and leadership coaching. Her firm has partnered with federal agencies like the Department of Veteran Affairs, Health and Human Services, NOAA, and the Department of Energy, delivering wellness solutions. As an Apex Accelerator client, Kym has worked closely with her counselors to achieve her contracting goals, including recently securing a spot on the GSA schedule. So let's get to know Kym and ask her about her inspiring journey. Thank you again for joining us today. It's such an honor to have one of our clients come on and talk about how well they're doing. We find it very inspiring, not just for our clients, but also for us. You know, sometimes you get caught up in the weeds of doing the day-to-day grind of the work that when somebody actually achieves something, it really lifts your day. So thank you. So we'll start off by asking you what inspired you to establish your business in 2021, and what were some of the early challenges you faced when you were entering the government contracting space?
Yeah, well, first of all, Yasmin, it is a pleasure to be here and welcome everyone. And so many people might not know this. You might know it now from my new branding, but I came from a nursing background. And I even worked overseas. And after an unfavorable experience in the corporate world, I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I need to have my own business. But unfortunately, it wasn't something that I was able to do immediately. I had to work my way up to it. And I still worked as a nurse when I came back to the States, and I bootstrapped my business. So started off in the commercial space. That was kind of hit or miss. And so I was at the hospital one day on my lunch break. It was a crazy day at the hospital. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I have to leave nursing. And I don't know if the Facebook algorithm heard me, but I'm scrolling and then I get this advertisement for a boot camp. It was a boot camp on how to learn government contracting, but at a very high level. So I signed up for the workshop and I said, you know what, let me test this. Let me see if it works. And so while I was in the program, it was only 2 months, but while I was in the program, I did a RFP for a city opportunity. It was for the city of Minneapolis. And I won. That was my very first time bidding on an opportunity. And I won with the support of this course. And so, Yasmin, it was for, you cannot believe how much it was for. It was $23,000 for a 1 hour training. And I'm like, oh no, like I have to master this. Like I can't leave all this money on the table. And so I wanted to learn federal contracting. And I'm sure most of you know on the call, federal contracting is a beast. It is an animal. And if you don't know what you're doing, you'll waste time, energy, and your resources. And so that's when I came to, back then it was Apex, but now, I'm sorry, PTAC. It's PTAC back then. And I came because I was just lost. I didn't know what to do, where to start. I didn't know any of the acronyms. And so now my coach is Tara Scott. Shout out to Tara. And she's been super helpful. And so for those of you listening, if you're not currently working with the APACs, they can help you do everything. They can help you figure out what your NAICS codes are. I saw a lot of questions about registering in SAMs. They can help you get your capability statement together. They can help you narrow down who buys your services. And so in a nutshell, that's pretty much my journey and how I got into federal contracting.
Okay, well, that's great. Thanks for giving us a background on that. Obviously, very different background from the challenging career of nursing, and shout out to people in that industry, especially what you guys have been through in the last few years was pretty horrendous. And for you to come out and go in a completely different direction and get success there. So kudos to you. And yes, kudos to, of course, your counselor, Tara, who nominated you for the success story. And before you had Tara, you had Akisha, who is no longer a counselor with us, but she still teaches for us. So you've been in very good hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of your successes then. You've partnered with prominent federal agencies like the Department of Veteran Affairs and HHS. Can you share a milestone project or a success story that stands out from your GovCon journey?
Absolutely. So the VA is the largest contract we have right now. That is a little over 2 million. So we're really happy when we landed that. And what I can say is it is hard bidding, right? But what you do is you do well, right? Because people already think that small businesses can't do the work, especially if you are a disadvantaged or minority owned business. They already have suspicions about the quality. And so with the VA, we came in and we did exceptionally well. And so the first year it was around mental health and wellness. And we managed to increase their AES scores. The previous year, they were at a 59 overall, and then we managed to get them up to 77, which is really great, and it speaks to the quality of our work. And so, because it's a multi-year project, they extended us for option year one, and so it's evolved. And so, we are now doing work in terms of organizational health. Again, we talked about there's a new administration change coming in, and a lot of agencies are nervous, to be honest. People are leaving, they don't know what executive orders might look like. So we're just helping them navigate that transition. So I would say that's probably the biggest success story that we've had so far.
Okay, that's incredible. And you're right about mentioning people change is always a worry for most people. I never, some people say, oh, I love change, just throw it at me or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, really? Do you really? A lot of us don't want to move out of our comfort zone. So yeah, it's good that you pointed that out. And the nature of your business helps people to embrace that and gives them the tools to deal with that. So along
I
your
have a
government,
question. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
sure,
Yasmin, could I
Tara, of
just jump in?
course.
And Kim, I loved your story with the VA. Do you mind sharing with everyone kind of how did you target VA? What did you do and who did you talk to land that contract? And I'm sharing what you share with me about doing some training, one little thing for One Oz Taboo office. So just
Oh, okay. So that's actually another agency. This, yeah, this department is relationships, and I was going to touch on that, guys. This business is all about relationship, right? I know there are the FARs and this and that, but at the end of the day, people do business with who they know, like, and trust. And so now is the perfect time. This is the beginning of the second quarter. This is when market research is happening. This is when industry day events are happening. And so getting in front of people, getting people to know you, what is your unique differentiator in the market, and how can you provide value to the organization? I think that's the key. And that's how we were able to land the VA contract.
Thank you. And Tari, yes, I was going to ask you at the end of this chat about your input of personally working with Kim. So I will come back to you on that. So thanks for joining in there. Let's talk about you getting onto the GSA schedule. Obviously, this is a great milestone. It's something a lot of our clients are trying to do. So congratulations on doing that. How has it impacted your business?
Oh my goodness. Like when I got the schedule, so we have two SINs or NAICS codes. So backstory, if you don't have your GSA, you don't, it's not like SAMS, you don't have access to all NAICS codes. You have to apply to get certain NAICS codes. So we have two. And Yasmin, when we got the schedule, it was like, oh my gosh, like we were missing out on all of these opportunities. And so, quick story, I'll share something that just happened with us recently. An RFI came out on sam.gov. Okay, a different NAICS code. We don't have this NAICS code, and it was fully open and competitive, meaning that it was open to any business. We responded to the RFI, okay? In the response, we told them that we have our GSA schedule under this NAICS code. Do you know 2 weeks later, that opportunity was on GSA under the NAICS code that we have, and then they moved it to a small business set aside. And so all of this activity is happening on a GSA. And so it narrows the competition. So it gives you a better opportunity to win contracts.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for giving us a background on that. So yeah, I want to swing back to Tara now. Tara, you obviously have been working closely with Kym for what, the past year or so, or since Akeisha left. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience of working with her, what her particular, her personality and her experience that she brings to the table that makes her stand out?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Kim is always prepared. So I really appreciate the fact, I gave her a laundry list, said, here, go out, have at it. And she really, follows the steps and does her research, does it on, her own on things. And I feel one of the things is she wanted to pivot. And so we kind of just bounce strategies by each other. But she has the idea, and then she comes to me and says, tell me how this could possibly work. And I'm like, okay, you know all these things. So I find comfort in knowing that she takes a lot of responsibility and doesn't always rely on me. She'll come to me before too with the questions. So I'm never off track or coming, to our meetings unprepared because I already know what she wants to address. So I applaud you, Kym, in being prepared, and that kind of helps keep us on track. So
Thank you. No,
yeah.
you've been amazing also.
Oh, thank you. Sweet.
Thanks, Tara. And Kym, what was your experience like with actually getting help, one-on-one help from our organization? Because a lot of people think they can do this on their own. They really try and, they struggle and fall. And they don't know, as our counselor Pam likes to say, they don't know what they don't know. So when they come and sit down with us and paints a much clearer picture of what you need to do to achieve your goals. So what would you have to say about that?
Don't go it alone. You have this free resource here. They are very knowledgeable and they can help you collapse your time. I'm telling you, if I was stubborn and decided to do all of this on my own, I wouldn't be where I am now. So take advantage of it. And like Tara mentioned, do your research first. You don't want to come to a meeting. Well, what do I do? Because there's so much to learn in government contracting. You want to come to each session with a focus. And so if you're totally new, how do we register? Let's get me registered in this session. Next session, let's get our marketing material together, your case statement. All right, now this is what I sell. Who buys my services? You want to have a plan and a strategy to attack this.
Thank you. And like you said, it's like having a team. So you're not just doing it on your own. So thanks for that feedback. And so wrapping this up, Kym, I'd like to ask you, what's the future for your business? Where do you see your consulting firm going down the road?
Oh, goodness. Yes. So, we are approaching exciting times now. And so I've been looking, at information, data, it can help drive your decisions, right? And so if you look at, if you look at things like Project 2025, if you identify what's in the next administrations, what are they targeting? What do they want to implement into the next 4 years? That'll give you a guide. And so for us, AI is huge. Right. And so right now I'm currently learning AI strategy. How do I lead a team or organization through implementing effective AI? Also, how can we combine some of our services to make products using AI? So things like that. You want to be able to forecast what's in the future and how your business can pivot and adjust. Because if not, I hate to say it, but you might be leaving money on the table, or it could mean that, your business might have to shut down. I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow, but as small businesses, we have to stay ahead of the game. And that's how you do it is, keeping your eyes and ears open, looking at the data and what's forecasted.
Okay. And if anybody wants to learn more about your company, Do you want to share any information of your website or anything like that?
Sure, yeah. So I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. You can look me up there and follow me. And the website is kymali.com. Pretty simple, just 6 letters.
Well, thank you so much, Kym. We're very proud of you. Thank you for sharing your story with us today, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you, Yasmin. It's been a pleasure. And for all of you, don't play small and good luck in 2025.